Now, an all-too-familiar story coming in from Bangladesh, a story of industrial waste ravaging water bodies. 3 days after a massive fire burnt down over 100,000 metric tons of raw sugar in a factory in the port city of Chittagong, locals have discovered liquid sugar and chemical waste streaming into a major Bangladeshi river. Molasses from the factory continues to wreak havoc on the river, the lifeline of Bangladesh's second largest city. The waste residue, it has created a thick sludge-like layer on the river's surface, choking out native marine biology. Carcasses of dead fish, crabs, even jellyfish can be seen floating downstream.
We noticed the color of the water in almost a 3-kilometer stretch on both banks of the Karnafuli has changed. It now looks like red syrup. It's very smelly around here. We saw yesterday a lot of fish were floating dead, and today we are hearing similar news downstream.
Now, the damage is not just limited to the rivers, as locals are complaining as well of a putrid odor both from the fire and the waste residue on the river, filling the air in the region. This rancid smell is preventing local fishermen who rely on the Karnafuli for their livelihood from fishing.
The water has turned dark, very stinky. How bad? Too stinky. It is difficult to stay near it for too long.
Now, the fire which broke out earlier on Monday, that's the 4th of March, shockingly continues to burn. This as firefighters struggle to bring it under control.
The extinguishing water mixed up with the raw sugar and other ashes and debris, and everything got washed into the river. As it is sugary water, it contains too much organic content and will affect the water parameters. Naturally, macrobiotic activities peaked up and oxygen deficiency occurred, and now it is hampering aquatic lives.
Now, an unusual and concerning phenomenon being reported from France. A large flock of common guillemots, birds genetically related to penguins, have been found dead on French Atlantic shores recently. Over the course of the past 3 months, over 500 carcasses of common guillemots have been found dead along the French Atlantic coast. According to local environmental groups, more and more birds are washing up on the shores daily. Environmentalists and scientists are both perplexed as to what really is causing entire flocks of these birds to die. Common guillemots are part of the Alcidae family of birds, which includes penguins. These birds, known to feed on fish by diving underwater, they're excellent swimmers but appear clumsy on dry land.
We've already seen those birds being captured in fishing nets. We filmed them during our sea patrols, so we know that birds are getting tangled in fishing nets and drowning from it.
Some researchers theorize massive storm cells in the region are exhausting these birds out. An additional concern is the interaction of marine wildlife in the Atlantic with increasing levels of human waste, especially non-biodegradable waste. In recent years, the North Atlantic garbage patch, that's a floating mass of garbage amassed by currents in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, it's worried scientists. The prevalence of microplastics in marine animals, along with shrinking food source, could also be responsible.
Guillemot birds are a species that will not survive if they don't feed for 2 or 3 days. They have no energy reserves, so they need to feed almost constantly. So when there's a storm of strong winds such as recently, these birds will find it hard to feed properly, while having to use more energy and will die of exhaustion.
The whole world is currently dealing with the issue of waste management, and a female Iraqi engineer in Baghdad has offered a remarkable solution to battle this concerning issue. Marwa Al-Naimi used to collect waste and tried to transform that collected waste into fertilizers in her garden, an exercise that she continued for years. Marwa runs a farm in 43,000 square feet where she recycles organic waste into environment-friendly fertilizers and plants in greenhouse farms. 39-year-old Marwa, who is a mother of 2 daughters, said that she was earlier discouraged as a woman venturing into what others described as a man's world.
slowly. المرأة العراقية هواية عندها مشاكل.
People used to say, I cannot work in this field. What got you interested in this field? Why would you go to the waste dumps? What got you into agriculture? These were all forms of discouragement. But inside, I had the passion and the persistence that I can do things just like those excellent Iraqi women before me, who were unique in many fields, like agriculture, science, medicine, and they're all famous.
محبطات لكن
I started my project in my home garden, which is just 1 meter by 6 meters, where I started to collect our waste and our neighbors' waste. And my experiment failed 100%. But this increased my persistence because I know that failure is the first step for success.
The initiative, titled Green Gold for Development, Marva is spreading awareness in the society over the issue of climate change. She's also empowering other women to start their own projects for the betterment of the environment. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.